Godhead 7 now. We begin with innocence, 25, the gate of the spirit of the self, the realms of the higher self. Love is space. Love is a place. Universal love, the spirit of being, part of all that is, whether they be a gatekeep and send them back down into the tribe packing, or whether they allow themselves and others to go into the realm of awakening. 25, innocent or not, remember, the spirit of the self. Next, we move to following, the gate of opinions. Opinions being about the logic that one has processed in order to come to awareness of what may be substantiated by facts, the logical expression of sharing one's thought processes eventually. Biting through, gate of hunter or huntress, 21 business. This is about control in tribal mechanisms, larger groupings. This is the being who is responsible for giving work to others. I remember hearing recently some entrepreneur saying, when you are in business for yourself, you are in charge of giving other people work. And there it is, the 21 business. Delegating again. The arousing, gate 51, gate of shock. The shock of turning one's back on one's family or the tribe. The shock of having the courage, the daring, the gall to leap out of the tribal constructs and into the realm of higher spirit. Part of the path of awakening, the road that all of us have the opportunity to tread, should it be right for us to engage in this game of existence. On the world stage, this particular stream of awakening is coming. And truly, you have 2 more years to wake up, people. Come on, get with the times. Just kidding. Really, it is not going to be needed as we move into 2027. There will be no more need to awaken. Not in the same way that it was back in the day. No need for awakening. Not really, not truly. Not the same game dance in the Homo sapien intransitus reality as we move forward. Oh, so much different. Thank you, AJ. I appreciate that voice of encouragement. Sometimes Laveena, when she gets all, my mind says, you are sounding very weird and energy is very strange. And what are you saying? Mind says, what are you saying? It's like barely holding on to being conscious of what is funneling through. My mind, the Ashna particularly, gets embarrassed about what it might look like or sound like. And so we begin here, gate 25, with Michael. Yeah. The gate of the spirit of the self, innocence, the perfection of action through uncontrived and spontaneous nature. Here we have Arginine. And in the G center, the realm of the higher self, we have the initiation, the design of needing to be first, the shaman priestess gate. This is archetypally speaking the nature of being innocent in one's presence of being unconditionally loving towards all that is because they are deserving, because they exist or not. They may not be unconditionally loving. What if they're very tribal indeed? Remember, we are isolating down to just a gate process. But remember, this is going to be this person's conscious awareness. Always think about it from the perspective of the awareness principle, the solar light. Okay, the solar light of awareness. This is what we're talking about here as we move through each gate activation at this level of the knowledge, just in order to recognize one aspect. Of course, when you take it into account that you're looking at any other planetary activation, it's going to bring different layers or levels of meaning. In needing to be first, part of the individual circuit group, it's actually a part of centering within on one's self. So there's an aspect of centering, okay? Centering within the realms of the higher self. The gate of love here is transcendent. It's part of the vessel of love. It is the cup handle, not the lip where love pours out, but it is the handle. The first primary love that human design is predicated upon is the fact that we all are deserving of love because we exist, because you exist. The gate of melancholy here is about being insignificant. If we were to imagine the great big, cosmic soup, it's impossible to comprehend from this physicality. Yeah, so, ooh, I feel so small, insignificant. Also, this is the gate of getting cold feet, as in it's not warm or hot-blooded anymore. It's cold. The vastness of space is cold. You may experience the compassion of it, as in being all that is as it. Yet the insignificance of the human construct, thinking that it has nothing in comparison because it's still in separation, rather than being attuned to that I am that. All is, we are, the I am principle. So the wheel being a time clock, this is part of the spring equinox. These are beings who archetypally can play the role of shaman or priest or priestess, however it is to be part of the wielding the sword of truth, arginine. 17, this is the gate of opinions following, again, still arginine, where there is this ancient law that those who wish to rule must first know how to serve, sharing, our ajna logical process in this channel of acceptance, this design of an organizational being. It is linking the conceptualization logical process of that ajna to the throat center in order to express eventually the logical awareness process of understanding, okay? Understanding, which is about future, which is about the order of things, process as it unfolds logically forward into the future. The awareness stream of understanding, again, where it's at in the BodyGraph mechanics, brings this possibility of the expression of the opinions. And conversely, of course, the fear of your opinions being challenged. This is the right ear as it looks forward into the future, your eye taking everything in at a glance as far as what's to be or what's to come. And the anxiety can be about the detail or the thought processes, the substantiated facts to back up the opinions, because the detail is on the other side. We are looking at, again, the right eye. So it is part of the process of looking quickly into the future to logically assess where things are going and sharing those opinions. Gate 21, arginine, we have the gate of the hunter and huntress biting through the justified and necessary use of power in overcoming deliberate and persistent interference. Why? 21s can be interfered with, and yet their power is to bite through. That's why it's about the masseter muscle here. That's why people who are having trouble with that develop TMJ from the stress, from the tension, part of the cross of tension, from the pressure of having to exert its control. This is the heart muscle. So it brings, as part of the channel of money or currency, money is simply an agreement, yeah, part of the bargain in this day and age. What about the nature of what is it not when we bargain, when we barter? The nature of bartering. This is worth this is worth that. Money just makes that simple and easy. This is part of the design of a materialist money. Yeah, part of the. Now, it says tribal circuit group. I want you to remember that this is the only pure Wa channel, period. It's not really part of the tribal circuit group. It's usually lumped in with the egoic circuit group. But in his materials, Ra says clearly he was told that this channel is only Wa, as in OC16, part of the organizing channels of a group of 16. There are 6. This channel, materialist, okay, money, materialists, they can seem incredibly entitled, especially that 45, someone who meets them on a continual basis. But the 21 deservedly has a right to be in control. It's just that this being has to enter into that correctly in order for it to be substantiated in the concretized Maya or the world of the material plane business. This is the ability to release funds to the owner of the company to give, like I mentioned earlier, work to other beings. It is an ego manifesting gate. That means it is a control gate. All of the gates here are, but this is the only one that is here to manifest, bringing the potential to dominate and to manage the community. What it says is, I control. I bear it so you don't have to. I control in order to help support all of us, especially you down below, get what you need. So we are going to work for the good and the benefit of the community, not just for the self, me, myself, and I. That is individuality, particularly when it comes to integration business. No, it's not that. 21s are not that. The loneliness, tell them when you see them. If they express the attitude of, it's lonely at the top, the loneliness goes away when you live in service and support of your community. And this is why you are deservedly given the capability of being in control. Other keynotes besides Gate of Control, this is the managing director. This is the bad cop. This is the being who loves to shop. Retail therapy being a real thing here. Yeah, because it is about ownership. Now, I'll tell you, in my years of working with this material and looking at a lot of people's charts over the years, that there is always going to be some element of the power game here, dominance and submission, or power positions. Instead of having power over or lording it over, power over, one of the things these beings have to learn is power with or power through, rather than trying to exert control over you. It really is part of the process in the learning game to experience what it's like to be a 21 in this age and reality. Arginine. Okay. Arousing, the gate of shock and part of initiation. We have the ability to respond to disorder and shock through the recognition and adaptation. We have part of the center that is centering within on oneself, the heart center, which is the mechanical control for initiation. This is a design of needing to be first part of the individual circuit group, but sub-circuit, it is centering. It is not about awareness. It is a function, a mechanic of being in control of when one turns away from the tribe and leaps into, I do this for me, not you. So different from that 21 business. The 21 is doing it for those down below. The 51 is saying, I do it for me. I want to be immortalized. This is in a larger company, the being who would be in charge of the sales team, because they have courage, they have gall. It takes a lot of courage to pick up the phone and call again and again and again until we found that initiation. It's a melancholy gate. All individuality gates are. And it can be about the lack of excitement, because look, they want some shock. They want to be aroused, as in rising to the occasion. This is the will power to compete, to bring out the spiritual warrior. And sometimes there can be foolishness or foolhardiness, leaping into the void, not knowing what's on the other side. This brings courage. Again, the goal, remember, having challenges with the goal. Maybe one of those things pointing at that this being is not empowered truly to be themselves.